You guys know the history we have here, and it's a pretty special thing that a lot of places don't have. And one of the kind of neat, unique things that we have is our athletic director was an All-American here in the Hall of Fame. Okay, is a guy that knows a lot about lacrosse, knows specifically a lot about the same seat you guys are sitting in because he was an alum. Okay, also a guy that was National Coach of the Year at the Division III level, National Coach of the Year at the Division I level, and is a very respected guy in the lacrosse world, all right, but is also an alum, to where he's directly connected to you guys. So how we're going to kick this thing off right now is I'm going to ask Dr. Matthews to come up and say a couple words to you guys.
Thank you, Coach. And fellas, thanks for letting me be part of tonight. It's kind of an exciting time of the year for lacrosse players when you get started tomorrow. And I was reminded earlier when Coach mentioned about apparently you got a little bit of fun and games in the morning that's going. It reminded me, first off, of a guy named John Duffy, who was one of my favorite captains at the Naval Academy, not just because he was a great captain and a really great guy, but also because in spite of what the trainers and the doctors told us all week long, he played in the Army-Navy game with 2 broken ribs, and we had to borrow a flak jacket from the quarterback on the football team. It was the only way the doctors would even let him go on the field. He couldn't practice all week long, and we were sure that, and he begged me to be able to play. And I wasn't going to start him. I didn't think he'd play. I mean, he couldn't breathe. The game starts, and he's standing right there. I'm like, John, go sit down. And he wasn't moving. He wasn't going to move. He was standing right there. And he's just looking at me the whole time. You got to put me in. I said, John, I'm not putting you in. You can't breathe. You got 2 broken ribs. And he wasn't going to leave. He just stood right there. And finally, he said, all right, you can take 1 run. I figured he'd take a run. He was a long pole. I figured he'd take 1 little run and be dead and have to come out. We'd drag him off and just put him over on the side somewhere. He played the whole rest of the game. I have no idea how he did it, still to this day. But the reason that reminded me about John Duffy, because his saying was, embrace the suck. Embrace the suck. He would say it in practice. When we're on the end line, get on the end line. And guys are starting to say, this sucks. And John would say, yes, it does. Embrace the suck, fellas. Love, he had a big smile on his face all the time. So my 2 words about my thought about tomorrow morning is, embrace the suck. Second thing is, my guess is you guys are probably a little bit excited about getting going. And you probably have been working a little bit to get ready for this. I hope so. I would also guess that you have high expectations for this spring. And I would imagine that you really want to do well this spring. I am confident that every one of your opponents really wants to do well this spring too. Experience tells me that wanting to do well won't have much to do with how much success you achieve this spring. What I encourage you to do, and you meaning from here down, is that you as a group decide what you're willing to commit to and how much you're willing to sacrifice to make it happen. That, I strongly believe, will have a great deal to do with how much success you have this spring. Get them, boys.